Computing for Youth with Autism and Families Helping Families NOLA. You can read the description for this session and his bio on pages 24 and 25 of the conference booklet, which will be linked in the chat. Mr. Henry, I'll turn it over to you.
Hello, how's everybody doing? It's an honor for y'all to invite me and my office to participate in this program. I just want to say a quick thing that, Families Helping Families is an organization that I just recently started working for. And I've really appreciated the time and the energy and the commitment this office is to the disability community of the city of New Orleans and in New Orleans metro area. They've hired me to do something which I find very, very challenging and very rewarding all at the same time. And that is to basically help find job and employment opportunities for folks who have autism in the city, in New Orleans area. We have a program called the CYA program, called what they call Computing for Youth with Autism. And our job basically is to provide training for youth who have autism, as well as then after they've completed the training, to try to find and secure some employment opportunities for them in the IT field. Now, let me show you how it starts. We have this program called the Learning Lab, which we have at our office every Monday, where kids come in, where they can learn about what kids with autism can come in and they can learn about, all types of things. And we basically look at them and review what they're doing and their computer capability and their ability to do things on the computer and online, which is wonderful. And we try to work with them on that one and see, but with that, we assess them. And after we've assessed them, we also pass on, we forward to them some possibilities of them in the IT area and their field. And one of the things that we do is let's say the person wants to be a graphics designer. I mean, there's a program that we send them out to that particular program. Suppose the person wants to be a coder, a computer coder, or an animating person. We would send them out to a program where they would have that particular area and skill. And after they've gotten that particular training, now there's about seven other training areas in the IT fields in which they can participate in. But mostly it's designed so they could do the program and then ship out to another, go to a training program and then complete the training program. And then after they've completed the training program, they can then, we can start working with them on trying to get a job. And that's what the program is all about, called the Computing for Youth with Autism. And that's what we're doing. That's what it's all about. This is just an example. What you see on your screen right now is the program we have and a brief description of what we're doing on that particular program. But we take various kids on the spectrum of autism, get a better understanding of what their computer skills are, and basically send them to a training program that works with them and improves their skills and basically puts them in a situation where their skills are now employable. They can go to various fields, various companies in the various aspects of IT. And that's one of the things that we're looking for in that particular program, and we try to advocate for them in the program. Our mission is very clear: to serve this particular community. We have a grant that provides that particular work and that services to them at no cost to the student who's participating in the program itself. And that's very helpful because the kids need to know that they can come in without this being a financial burden on them and or their family. So that's one of the things that CYA does. The challenge is very simple, as we put inside of the slide. There's a lot of folks in the United States that may have a degree of autism. And as my slide was saying, there may be 1.1 million folks who may have it. And, and the bottom line is that the majority of them are not in a situation where they're making enough money or have a job opportunity to make them self-sufficient. Our goal and objective is to get them in a field where they can actually provide them with a job that they can be self-sufficient. That's our number one goal and objective. Now, we're going to center most of our job opportunities for those citizens in the city those folks with autism who are living in the New Orleans metro area, and we try to find jobs for them in this particular area. But I'm not limiting myself, even though we've just got started. You may even go outside of the city of New Orleans to find some additional job opportunities for them. But that's just some of the things in which we do to get them ready for that job. You got to be trained, you got to be certified in something, and then we can go out and shop you and try to find the job opportunities for you. You know, we help all types of individuals with their skills and their program and their abilities. And that's what we do. And I mean, I'm not saying everyone is accepted into the program. I'm not saying everyone is going to be moving forward with their program, but I'm surprised by how many have gone through the program after we've done an assessment to them and then move them on to a training program that fits for them. And I'm very proud of that. And our staff is very knowledgeable for it. I think I have two of the best staffers in the country who can actually look over and review what the capabilities are for the students and basically make a very good recommendation to them on the type of training program that's up and available. You know, our program is a little different because we're specifically targeted toward folks with autism. And that's the key component of it. We don't, you know, there's some other folks with some other programs that we work with, but there is not another program dealing with computerization and autism in the city of New Orleans and the New Orleans metro area. So that's one of the things in which we're doing, and the difference we have, you know, about us as an organization. This is how the program works. We have all types of participants. Our compensation comes when we do our program is from LRS. And we try to provide them with the best quality training program and training options that they have available for them, okay? You know, these are some of the types of job opportunities in which we'll try to provide a training program for them. Like I said, video game design, computer animation, web design, web development, computer programming, elements of computer science, general IT work, information and data management, data analysis, and cybersecurity. I'm even trying to add another component to the piece, which I will not mention on this piece, but I think it's a very interesting component that we have. And these are our partners, our educational partners. Delgado, New Horizon, Nunez Community College, Operation Spark, Hack the World, Tulane University, and Delgado University. They're doing a great job at providing the training that our students need in order to get them to that particular program. And that's where we are. Now, the participants in the program are, you have to participate in the program, you got to be between the ages of 16 and 25. You have to have been diagnosed with autism on some level of the spectrum and a citizen of the state of Louisiana and eligible to participate in the program via the Louisiana Rehabilitation Services program. You know, you have to be interested in the area of computing. That's what we're basically keying in on in reference to the training as well as the job opportunities that we go out and see. You know, our opportunities for partnerships is very, it goes a spectrum. Now we've been communicating with companies throughout the New Orleans area and signing partnership agreements with them so that they can look at our students in the future. When a job becomes open in their area or on their job site, we encourage them to look at our kids and participate and to review our kids, to have our kids, you know, reviewed and looked at very closely. Because to be honest with you, many of our kids don't interview as well. And we will help them in reference to going to maybe providing an alternative interviewing technique for many of the students. We provide some assistance to the company in working with the kid and setting them up and getting them their accommodations on the job itself. There's a lot of work in which we provide to the company, and that's why the partnership works, because they're looking to bring good employees. It may be new territory for them, and we help them go through the maze of hiring, and not just the maze, but some of the ups and downs of what it may entail about hiring a person that may have autism. And we know they're going to be good employees, except that sometimes when a company who hasn't experienced this, they may get a little nervous. And I think with the services in which we provide them, it can ease that burden a great deal and make it more palatable for the company to hire and continue to hire additional people with autism. You know, the benefits of it goes without saying. First of all, I think the companies benefit because they get good employees. They get really good employees, people who come to work on time, on schedule, who value their job. I mean, there's some studies out there talking about the absentee rate of folks with autism who are on the job is like almost insignificant in reference to their overall numbers, much better than you have with your average employee. And it also talks about their dedication to the job. You don't have a lot of turnover in that particular area. They keep their job, they work really hard at the job, and they value that job tremendously. And we also try on an ongoing basis of trying to show the company that it's to their benefit of bringing that person on board because they have a very good employee. Now, to the person that's employed, it helps them become more self-sufficient. That's the key component. Being self-sufficient is a part of everyone's dream, is to be self-sufficient, to be on their own and not to be dependent upon anyone. And the job is the route to do that. We figure with this program, in this computer area and field, they will be making enough money in order to be self-sufficient. And that's the key component. That is the key component of us making their situation, putting them in a situation where they'll be self-sufficient. And we take a lot of pride in that, and that's one of our major league goals and objectives. You know, we have this learning lab, as I was trying to say. The learning lab is a very interesting process. I've learned to sit back and observe it. I honestly do not personally participate in learning, but I've just observed it. But it's just interesting to see the students participate in various tasks that goes on in the learning lab, at various activities that take in the learning lab. And I noticed how the staff works with them. But I didn't realize, and it really taught me a lot about that as part of their evaluation. And learning to make a good evaluation on a person's ability to manage or to work on a computer program, or have the exact extent of their interest in computers, is very, very interesting. And they can do that at the learning lab. And I think the staff, after 2 or 3 sessions, really has a pretty good understanding of what that capability of that student is. And that also helps us because then we can recommend the proper program for them to go to in reference to training. And with the right training is when they can make the next step to the permanent job that we'll try to help them get. You know, the employees work, they benefit from it. I went through that in the program itself. Here's a listing of some of the things that they do: increase retention, increase recruitment, high morale. You know, they think out of the box. Many folks with autism think outside of the box. Employee will appreciate that. And in the end, you know, you're always looking for a different perspective on how to improve your job, how to improve your business, how to improve the product that you're making. And I think it also boosts your company's morale and reputation. It shows that you're making an effort to bring in people who normally would not be hired or be considered. And I think that's a good plus because that community appreciates it and they do business with you in the end. So the benefits of partnering with our program is vast. There's some tax breaks that's associated with the program. There's a lot of good things that can, you know, happen for your company. We provide as much support as we can provide for you on that one. But I think the overall thing is your bottom line. That company's bottom line increases because they get a good employee, a good person that can really make that company more productive, make it more efficient, and make it more profitable. And that's the key component of any business. So that's basically the elements of my presentation itself. I just wanted everybody to say that this is what we do at this office. If you have any questions, let us know. If you have a person who you think could participate in our program, let us know. If you know of a company that's interested in hiring a person in the IT field, of one of our folks, we would love to sign a partnership agreement with them. So please, my number can be reached at the website in which we have on. You can just dial. You can dial me directly if you choose to, and that's at area code 504-220-2089. Or you can go to our website where we have as FHFNOLA.org. And that's FHFNOLA.org. And that will get you where you got to go in reference to the site, some information about the office, and that's Families Helping Families NOLA. And we can, someone will be able to direct you to my office or directly to one of the folks on staff that can help you with your child or yourself. You may want to participate in this particular program. But remember, we're only bringing in kids who are between the ages of 16 and 25. So just remember, we don't have the whole spectrum, but between 16 and 25. So just take that in mind with the program, and it will be part of one of the things I would encourage them to do, just come to the Learning Lab and actually come in one Monday and actually participate in the program, see other kids like it, and let us look at your computer abilities and some of the things you can, and maybe even some of the things you can't do on the computer. And we'll find all that out and try to get you or direct you into the right training program that can help you become a computer person or an IT person that has a job. So any questions, please let us know. Let me know. I'm here. I know it was a very short thing, but this is my colleague, Tiffany. She may be online right now. She's working the program itself. She's one of the people that you will talk to. Her email address is right there on the bottom. You could use her there. Okay. So any other questions, just please give me a call. And I'd like to ask any questions. Go ahead.
Hi, Sterling. We do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Rob says that this program sounds great. How have you relocated here in Northwest Louisiana? So is there an opportunity to take what you're doing in New Orleans and copy it up there?
That's something that's a little ways away. We're not there yet to handle those services for others. Believe me, but that's one of my golden objectives at this time next year, that we'll be able to expand it out to that particular area. Okay, but right now you have to be. We're concentrating our efforts in the city of New Orleans, in the New Orleans metro area.
Okay, and Melanie asks if the local Families Helping Families offices participate in this, or do we have to go through the NOLA office? So I think it's the same question, sort of just say right now it's specific to New Orleans.
And tell her, to be honest with you, you see Tiffany's back contact information is right there on the page. Tell her she can email her, would answer any and all questions about the program itself and her options. Okay.
And I think the last question we have, other than a request to put the information in the chat, which we'll do in just a moment, is there a website for the program?
Oh, yes. You could just go, like I said, to FHFNOLA.org. Okay. You can go to FHFNOLA.org. You'll see programs and you'll see CYA. It stands right out there. You get all the information you want from that particular program and site. Or you can email Tiffany at that address, and she'll send you the link to the directly to the program portion of the CYA activity. I've just come on board. Tiffany's been on board a lot longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other questions?
Sterling, this is Bambi. I have just a question in regards, and I'll turn on my camera so you're not just hearing a voice from the sky.
It was from the sky. It was from the sky.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I mean, you really shared, the content of it was great, and the practices that you talk about is on point in regards, those of us who know what are best practices around hiring people
Right.
with disabilities and the benefit
Right.
to businesses. So I really appreciate that, and your passion for it to me is a great selling point. So I
Oh,
just thank
thank
you
you.
for that work and your passion.
Well, we're trying to get as many Louisiana businesses that handle computers and the like. For example, one of the things that we did a good move, and I saw early in the program you were talking to Oshna. You know, Oshna is potentially being one of our partners. Matter of fact, our meeting went so well last week. I had forwarded them the partnership agreement, and they just sent it directly to council so they can get it all straight. And we'll probably have them on board in the next week or so. So I'm just very excited about that because they have jobs that's available. They were very interested in some of the accommodations and some of the things that we can provide them to help with the transition of the student being in that, the new employee being in that position. So we're excited about that. We're looking at a partnership agreement with the city of New Orleans in their ID department. We're very close to finalizing an arrangement with the chief contractor for the city of New Orleans' IT department. And that's a new company that's coming into town, but they're very interested in it. And they'll have 60 to 70 jobs that's open and available for them. I'm not saying all that's going to be us, but I'm just trying to say that they have positions and they can even hire people even faster than the city itself can in their IT department.
And just a follow-up question. I think it was someone else had a question earlier about replicating it in North Louisiana. I'm just wondering, are you guys keeping data so it could be replicated, even if it's not you guys, if you have best practices, and it just sounds like you're really reaching out to the businesses, you have a really great program in place. Are you guys doing any kind of data collection to be able to show people how this best practices can be replicated?
I have been on board for 4 months to work this program. So the answer to your question is that is a goal. And we have some people that's doing and I'm collecting as much data as we can right now. In fact, I've just brought on board a person who's going to be helping me with my additional partnership agreements and putting together the presentations that we're going to be sending out to the companies. But yes, we hope to have this at a point where we can take it and give it to another organization and say, hey, you can run with it, or we'll be able to take it and be able to say, let's expand it out to another part of the state. You know, that's our ultimate goal and objective, but I'll be honest with you, I think we're a year away from that, to be blunt.
Well, we appreciate that. And Liam, if you want to come back on, and I see we have some more Q&A, and if anybody else has any questions, they can definitely put it in the Q&A.
Well, I'm here to answer any and all questions that you have. I've been ordered to volunteer to assist in every way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. I did drop the website for Families Helping Families NOLA in the chat, so that should be available. We do have a question.
Thank you very much.
From Mary Robert, who says it would be good to work with the school districts as well. Have you considered Lafayette Parish School District or other high schools as a training program?
Well, one of the things that we have been using the school system is a section of recruiting kids to participate in the program itself. And that's one of the things we've been making some outreach with the New Orleans Parish School, the St. Bernard Parish Schools, and some of the other school systems in which we have in New Orleans metro area to find and secure kids who have an IEP and also would like to who have shown some computer skills and get them involved with the program. That has been part of the source in which we use right now. But the training programs itself are not done at a high school. The training programs are done at Delgado. It's done at Operations Park. It's done, some of them are done virtually. But what I'm just trying to say is that, so the outreach to the high schools has been mostly from a recruitment standpoint of getting more students involved. Next question.
We have one more question. It says, are you in Jefferson Parish or West Bank, or on West Bank? I'm sorry.
We're not in Jefferson Parish. We're in St. Bernard, Orleans, Plaquemines Parish.
Yeah.
hopefully we'll be in Jefferson Parish soon, next year.
So that's all the questions that I currently have. We do have about 20 minutes left. We can certainly wrap up early, but if anyone has any additional questions before we do end early, please ask them now.
I mean, I think one of the beautiful things in which we have in our program is that our goal and objective is to provide job opportunities to the kids. I wish I could wave a magic wand and it would happen overnight. But the fact of the matter that we all know it's not. But we're going to try. We're putting our level best and our best foot forward about providing those job opportunities to those kids. But, you know, you got to get through the training program. And that's the thing. You got to get through the training program. And we'll try to find a program that fits your needs or what you want to do and try to develop a training program that you can get through. And that's the key component, because if the person doesn't get through and have the certification, it becomes more and more difficult to employ.
And we do have another question from Rob. He said, how did your organization select this type of disability?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I've been on board only for 4 months. I think my boss was part of the reasons why we have the program. She has, her name is Aisha Johnson, and Aisha has 3 children that all have autism. And she also noticed how they play computers, how they were playing on computers and how well they were doing on computers. And she had an idea about the idea of what's the employment opportunities for them because of being able to work in the managed computer. So her and the development director at our office put together a package of material and shopped it as a grant. And we got funded for the program, and that's how it started. Now, I think we ran into a roadblock because of COVID. And I think most of you have run into a roadblock called COVID. And so much of the program went virtual. Now, I'm not exactly certain how successful the training was under those aspects of COVID. But since that has now been released, I'm dedicated to make sure that the training that the kids get are at a point where the kids can actually get a job. And that's our dedication, and that's our field, and that's what our goal and objectives are. I am aggressively knocking on doors, talking to companies about the idea of hiring out people and becoming a partner. And so far, I mean, I've only been on board for 4 months, but I think we got nearly 10 partners right now. And I'm looking at getting more as the months go by. Question.
Liam, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Mr. Henry, what about the families of your students? Is it easy to engage them? Are they very supportive? What type of feedback are you getting from the families also?
I'll be honest with you. I personally don't deal with the families as much as the staff does. Okay, they interact with them a great deal, and they give me great feedback that many of the parents are happy or are excited about the fact of the matter that their kids can possibly get a job. There's a few interactions I've had with the families. Is one guy told me something that really touched me. He said that, Sterling, if you can get a job for my son, he said, this would be the equivalent of your son winning a Nobel Prize. I said, what? I said, yeah. He said, I really think it's going to be very difficult for my son to find some type of employment. When I said, well, sir, all I can do is, give it my very, very best. And, but that level of intensity it really got to me. The fact of the matter that this man has some hope that his kid may be able to find a job. Now, he has a limited hope, but he was explaining it to me how intense that could be and how important that could be to the long-term development of his child. So all I can say is we give it our best, and the parents I know are very appreciative if we can find them a training program and if we can find them a job.
And we do have just some general support for Jefferson Parish, saying there's a lot of kids with autism there, and I think CYA would be a great help there. What other parishes, I believe you answered this earlier, but just to reiterate, what other parishes besides St. Bernard and Plaquemine Parish are you in currently?
Orleans.
Orleans, okay, thank you. And then the last, one of the last questions I have is, can students who are not from Louisiana enroll in this program, saying that they have a nephew who does animation and computer program who's on the spectrum, and the family recently relocated to Texas. So is it just Louisiana?
If the person has a relationship with LRS, we can work with them. But we would prefer that the person would be also have a relationship and they live in the parishes in which we're working with. We're not going to turn anybody down, but if they have them in that particular in the Orleans, St. Bernard, or Plaquemine Parish, we would love to have them in that. But if they have a relationship with LRS, we may be able to work.
Perfect. Is another question that we have is there any possibility of having training program at Elaine P. Nunez in St. Bernard Parish for those who would this would help those with transportation issues?
I'm missing the question.
So is it possible to have a training program at Elaine P. Nunez in St. Bernard Parish, or how do you address potential transportation issues? Is there a virtual component to this, or are there other offerings for people who don't have?
Yes. One of the things that we do in the evaluation is when we evaluate the kid and try to recommend a program for them, we take in consideration, where the kid is located at, whether or not this can be done virtually, or whether or not, the program also matches the kid's needs at the same time. So all I could say to that is that I understand that transportation can be an issue for some of the kids participating in the program. And those are some of the barriers that we try to overcome for the student. And that will all depend upon the program that he that best suits him, and where it's located at, and what the capability is of that particular training program that we're looking at. So that's the best I can answer, is that we'll try.
And Mr. Henry, and since you're going through, these students are being served through LRS.
Yes.
LRS has funding for if they qualify for potentially for some transportation support, right?
Right. I believe so. My staff has been informing me about some of the things that LRS can do and provide for them. So I mean, my best answer is that, to be honest with you, is that I would need to get some information from the person and then have my staff work on it for them to see what options that we could have for the kid, to be honest with you on that.
Great, thank you.
I'll be honest with you. One of my key component is to knock on the doors is the companies, and to get these companies lined up to start hiring our folks. That's my #1 piece. I think my staff does a great job with the students themselves, an outstanding job. I mean, I think the dedication level is beyond what I had thought it would ever be. Okay, and so I don't try to mix with anything good. Like I say, if it's not broken, it really is not broken. It's working very, very well. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate their talent. And let me just knock on those doors and try to get more people to provide the job opportunities for them. That's how we kind of break up the responsibilities here. Mr. Dope?
Yes, I do have an additional comment and then a question as well. So Melanie says that coming from a family, from having a family member who's struggling with job opportunities with autism, this is a wonderful program that can tap into a market that is and can be rewarding on both sides. Is your intent to share with colleges and universities and partner with them either initially or further down the road?
Further down the road. I think we're going to keep what we got and perfect what we have, and then move on down the road. And and for a kid who wants to go to a 4-year college and stuff like that, that's a whole different option set for that person. So we can look at that, and part of the evaluation with the kid may be that's the route you want to take. But it all depends upon the kid, the student who wants to participate in the program, and so we can move forward from there. I mean, it's not one box fit all. It's not that at all. So there's a a student who wants to maybe become a great computer scientist may need the four-year degree program. You know what I mean? And then go on to a graduate program and so. But right now, we're talking about a different type of program that will be in a position of being able to get you a job much more quickly in the IT field. Go ahead, sir.
Yep, absolutely. And so Rob asks, what certifications does this program assist?
Well, it's all, most of the certifications are in the area of IT. As I said inside the program, it's a various, I mean, you know, you'll be a coder, you'll be a certified coder if you want one program. You'll be a certified in cybersecurity if you have if you participate in another program. And the list goes on. And it was all part of the list that we had on the presentation of the various aspects of IT that we have. And I mean, I don't want to give an employee somebody who's not certified. You know what I mean? They don't have a level of certification. That helps them a lot in reference to being able to find their employment.
Great. And I have one more question. Claudia says that she spoke with a father last weekend whose child is borderline autistic, and the child exceeds in graphic design, visual arts, and in areas related to computer games. So her question is there a training lab for artistic children as well? As an
She should go to the website. She should go to the website and look at the program that we have on the website, and then sign up and see the options that she has available. And there's an email address that's connected to the program that she can ask to get direct answers for. Because if she's that talented, she wants to get some other program, she should explore all of our options. And some of the options that she may have are actually on the website itself.
Perfect. Well, that's all the questions I believe we have. So I again want to thank you for your time, Sterling. We appreciate you being here, and our attendees, and I appreciate it as well. The next program will begin. Hold on, I have to pull it up. There we go. Our next session is post-secondary apprenticeship for youth. Excuse me, the paycheck program. It's a pathway to employment, and will begin at 1:30. You're welcome to remain logged on during the break.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. That's it for me, correct? I'm just checking. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Henry. Thank you, cousin. I appreciate that.
I may be being a little biased, but I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.